Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talks with Todd.
Yo, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, man. Listen, today's episode is about to be something special. I didn't plan this. I got inspired off a book that I read last weekend, and it was dope, and it just spoke to me. So I was like, you know what? Let me tell this story. A lot of people know me as B Todd. They don't know what I had to go through to become B Todd, and that's what made me want to tell y'all this story. So, for those of you that don't know, my name is Brandon Sinclair Todd. Yes, that's my government name. And I wanted to tell y'all this because obviously I dealt with some struggles with my name. But before I get into all of that, I want to explain what each name meant. Like, yes, I have three first names. So I'm going to start off with Brandon. Brandon comes from, it's an Irish name, and it means strong, soar, or raven. Now, my middle name, which is Sinclair, which is French or Latin, that means illustrious or renowned. You know what I mean? And Todd is a British name that actually comes from somebody like that is actually for somebody that is quick-witted. So as you hear these things about my names, you can tell that these are part of my personality. Everybody is seeing each part of that in me within my names. So obviously I didn't know this before. Like this came later when I, started looking up my name and, seeing where the name came from or whatnot. So my struggle with my name obviously started with my mother and going to school. I was getting made fun of. And, one day I just asked my mom, I'm like, yo, mom, where did my name come from? Like, I was cool with Brandon. It was the Sinclair Todd part that was killing me. So I'm like, yo, what made you name me that, right? So she was like, well, I didn't want, I wanted you to be able to have a fair shot at getting a job. I'm like, huh? She was like, yeah, I didn't want people to know that you were black and then turn you away. Now, here's my thing. God bless my mom's soul. Even if my name didn't sound like I was a black person, don't you think, I would have been walking in the building and they would have been like, oh, he's black. They were going to find out eventually that I was a black person. So I didn't understand. I don't know. I don't know what she was. I understand she had good intent, but she didn't map it out correctly. I could see if I was light skinned, maybe, but not me like this. No. So anywho, when she told me that, I didn't have the wherewithal to put everything together, but I knew enough to know that my name alone wasn't going to help me get a job. You know what I'm saying? And I go to school, I'm meeting people and all of that. And a lot of the times kids would just ask your first name, right? This time somebody asked me like my first and last name. Like, because obviously Brandon is a common name. So, I'm like, yeah, my name Brandon. Oh, I know plenty of Brandons. What's your last name? Todd. Your name Brandon Todd? The first person to make fun of me, I'll never forget this girl. She was ugly as hell. Okay, I'm in class. Everybody got to get up, say what their name was, whatever. So, as soon as I said Brandon Todd, this girl right behind me, she like, how your black ass end up with such a white ass name? Whole class cracking up after that. I'm pissed. Now, obviously, like I said, this girl's ugly. But what I didn't know was that this girl knew she was ugly and like kind of sort of used it as her superpower. Now, if y'all heard this girl talk, she speaks and just laughs like a comedian. Like, she can make you laugh off of her laugh even if she roasting you. I couldn't stand this girl. Like, if goddamn it I bite you and whoever else with you had a face, it would be hers. She was little, she was skinny, but her shoulders was like up like that. She had a weird like haircut, but it was like her hair came to right here. She had a mushroom head and these big ass teeth. I never forget this girl. So when I went to roast this girl back about how ugly she was, she like, ha, nigga, I know I'm ugly. My parents ugly, but you can change your name. I'm like, I can't even win with this damn girl. She killed me. I had no choice but to shut up or just laugh because she had a strong point and I couldn't argue that. The girl knew she was ugly, and she knew that's what people was gonna attack. Cause she wasn't no bummy girl or nothing. She was just ugly, and she was funny. So she killed me. But she also helped me get my personality together and helped me have thicker skin about my name, because I wasn't getting made fun of about my name until then. So time went on. I finally get to middle school, because this happened in grade school. So I finally get to middle school. So I'm not getting really made fun of like that about my name, but I'm noticing nobody is just giving me other than my family members, nobody was giving me a nickname. It was a lot of Brandon is a common name. It was too many Brandons, right? So I wanted something to stand out, and nobody gave me a nickname. So here it is, everybody else getting called whatever nickname they got, or their name being abbreviated. I'm stuck with Brandon Todd. Just everybody calling me, hey, Brandon Todd, Brandon Todd, Brandon Todd, hey, come here, Brandon Todd. Like, everybody saying my name like that. Like, and it was annoying, because I'm like, why don't they just call me Brandon, or why don't they just call me B? It just became a real big issue for me, right? The bigger issue was when people started wanting to know my middle name. Now, mind you, I told you what my names meant in the beginning. This is prior to me knowing that my name even means anything. So I'm looking at that shit as a bad sign. Like, Sinclair to me was a horrible middle name, because I had two shows that I liked watching that I had every reason to hate the middle name for. One was this show called Dinosaurs. If you are an 80s baby or older, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Dinosaurs was this show that used to come on way back in the day, and the lead character was a dinosaur named Sinclair. Every time he got in trouble with his supervisor, he would yell out Sinclair, all obnoxious and shit. So I hated my middle name because of that. Then in Living Single, obviously the dodo out of the group was Sinclair. So then I went from being mad about my name being Sinclair because somebody was just yelling it all stupid like that, to me not liking it because, one, I thought it was a girl name, and then two, it was a dumb girl name. So I was pissed. All right, I was heated. So anyway, time go on. I moved to Florida. Now, prior to me moving to Florida, right, I went to this school called Bobian. And anybody that live in Detroit, everybody know about Bobian. So anyway, I go to this school, and I notice there's another short guy there. And you know, I told y'all about the struggle of being short. This dude, he was short, but he had way more swag than I did back then, right? So I'm like, how is he getting, you know what I'm saying? What is he doing to have it so easy in school compared to me? Like, I didn't know what I was doing wrong. So he went by the name of Smurf. So I was like, damn, what a clever way to, you know, kind of like play on your height, but also make it cool. I'm like, that's dope. So when I moved to Florida, I'm like, oh, I could start all over. Don't nobody know me here. I'm about to go by Smurf. Until I got hold by this girl. I'm going to get to that in a second. So anyway, I go to Florida. I started telling people, hey, yeah, just call me Smurf. Just call me Smurf, like I'm somebody important, somebody special. Until it came down to the girl that I really wanted to kick it with. So meanwhile, my whole issue with my name was just me trying to find a certain identity. Because outside of just me being who I am on the regular, there was nothing else. Nobody else equated me to nothing else. So I'm like, dog, this is some bullshit. Everybody else got some type of nickname, some type of alias. I'm just stuck with my name. And this is me looking at it as a bad thing. So I go to Florida. I start meeting people, you know. Like I said, I had the opportunity to reinvent myself. So I'm all gung-ho about meeting new people. And yeah, my name Brandon, but you can call me Smurf and all this other bullshit, right? Finally, there's one girl that I wanted, Spanish girl, never forget. So she comes up to me one day and she was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, what's up? Now, listen, for those of y'all that ain't never lived down south, southern girls are not like girls up north, okay? They're nothing alike, okay? They're very different. in the sense of, being approachable. To the point where they will approach you, right? So the girl comes up to me, mind you, this is a girl I wanted to, kick it with or whatever, and I wasn't expecting her to say anything to me. I was just trying to buy my time, make my rounds, and get noticed for something else. So this girl finally come up to me, say her piece, and was like, "Listen, you a nice looking dude or whatever, but I'm not calling you Smurf. And then I get what you doing. You short. Your favorite color is blue. Obviously, you wear that shit so much. Sometimes I think you wearing the same shit all the time. But you switching up your clothes, but it just don't seem like it." She was like, "But I'm not calling you that. You might need to change your style up a little bit." And I'm telling you that as just somebody that see what you going through, because I had that same problem. I was trying to find myself too. She was a little older than me, so that's why she was able to talk to me like this. So I'm like, okay, cool. I took it hard, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, you know what? At least she was being honest, so I could dig it. Cool. So at that point, I started switching up my whole style. I started changing up everything, and I'm like, you know what? Forget this having another name bullshit. Let me just go by Brandon and start being myself. Right? Cool. So then I moved back to Michigan, but now I'm no longer living in Detroit. My mom moved to Inkster. Now, for those of you that don't live in Michigan, Inkster is 30 minutes away from Detroit. But I never heard of an Inkster before. So when I knew I was going back to the crib, I'm thinking I'm going back to the city, and my mom's like, "No, we live in Inkster now." I'm like, "Inkster? What the hell is an Inkster?" And in my mind, I'm thinking it's all white people, bro. All white people. I'm mad as hell because I used to be really uncomfortable around people, around all white crowds. I don't know why, but even as a kid, I felt uncomfortable. So, and maybe it was because of me watching too many damn movies or something. I don't know. But I just felt really uncomfortable and didn't even have a bad experience like that to feel uncomfortable. I just always felt uncomfortable when it was more white people than it was black people all the time. So I'm really mad about where we moving. I'm like, damn, my mama couldn't move to Southfield. She couldn't move to Oak Park, something. In my mind, Southfield and Oak Park was a representation of some type of wealth. Mind you, this is me younger thinking like this. Little did I know it didn't take much to live there. All right, but also the girls, in my opinion, look better that stayed out there for whatever reason. So I was mad because I'm like, damn, she could at least moved out there. I would have been close to the city, but then I would have been, where there's more of a variety out there. So I go to Inkster, first day of school. I'm like, oh, all right, this ain't all white. Actually, the white people, they the minority. Cool, I could dig it. So in Inkster, everybody that lives out there actually abbreviates their names. Everybody, but you got to be given that name. So again, I'm not used to nobody asking me my first and last name, but out there they did it like a lot. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, what's up, bro? Where you from? I'm like, I'm from Detroit. But what's your name? I'm like, Brandon. What's your last name? Todd. Oh, all right, you be Todd. That was the birth of B Todd right there. So I was like, oh shit, why didn't I never think of that? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I guess people wasn't really, back then, nobody was really giving themselves nicknames or nothing like that. So I'm thinking, yo, like, that was just so simple and plain. I never thought to just call myself B Todd. So I'm like, damn, it sound cool. I'ma roll with it. So that's how that started. So I started I just started going by the name of B Todd, but it all started for me being an Inkster. Okay? So I'm quick to tell anybody, I was born and raised in a D, but Inktown definitely made me. I'm not gonna lie, like being an Inkster played a major part in who I am today. And I've had my ups and downs just like I had my ups and downs anywhere else, but it was something special about Inkster. So there it was, I got my name. I'm like, cool, now it's time for me to build something off of my name. You know what I mean? So that's what I kind of did. unfortunately, it wasn't always around good stuff. It was always something drama related, or something with some women messing around with somebody's girl or whatever like that, or just being a ladies' man in general. Because I used to be the type of guy, like, if I mess with you and we not messing with each other with no more, or even if we are, sometimes I would try to get the girl in your crew. So the name B Todd was going all around Inkster, like, hey, if he want to get you, he gonna get you, and he gonna get your girl, he gonna do this, he gonna do that. So I'm not gonna say it was necessarily wrapped around something that was good. The only thing my name was attached to that was good is the way I carried myself. I used to dress different, not like how I dress now, but I used to be flashier back then, which was cool because I was still young. So my name was attached to stuff like that. Other than that, it was always attached to something kind of semi-negative, but at the same time semi-cool to me. But after that, it was just like, okay, it's on and popping. But now I need to build something along with my name, because my name sound like it means something. And I wish I would have thought of my original name like that. Like, everybody kept calling me Brandon Todd at one point. I didn't have the wherewithal to be like, yo, why? You know what? I'm gonna take it as a compliment, because if you run into Denzel Washington, you're not just gonna say, hey Denzel, you're gonna say Denzel Washington. So I wish I had that thought process as a youngin' and started, pretty much using reverse psychology on myself and flipping it around instead of being mad and upset about it because of what my mom named me. Now here's the thing. When as I got older, I started to embrace my name as I started to look into what my names meant. Now, don't get me wrong, I've heard my fair share of jokes because of my name or whatever, but the one thing somebody told me that made me look at my name different is this one guy I went to high school with, and he was like, my dad always told me don't ever trust nobody with 3 names, 3 first names. That's what he said. He would always say that to me, and he would smile or laugh about it, which made me laugh, but I never knew what he meant about it until I got older. And what he was saying was, by me having 3 different first names, or names that could be used as first names, I could be 3 different people. And my homegirl, shout out to my homegirl Tiffany, Kels had told me that each name meant something. And I didn't know what the hell she meant back then, because back then, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of slow, all right? I was not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I was more like a plastic butter knife back then. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what the hell the problem was. Maybe it was hereditary, who knows? But anyway, I wasn't as sharp as I am right now. And she tried to tell me back in the day that my names, all of them, meant something. So she was like, listen, you got Brandon, who's normal. He's not necessarily normal, but he's calm, he's cool, he don't mess with nobody. But B Todd, oh, he's an asshole, and he's antagonistic. He petty, but he can also make you laugh. Then you got Sinclair. Whether you like that name or not, Sinclair actually the smooth dude that could get the girls. He the one who get the girls for real, when he really want to get them. He's also somebody that could just make anybody feel good about themselves. Then you got Todd. Todd is actually the guy that's really nice. He's helpful. He doesn't really do anything to harm anybody. He's just about spreading love. And I'm looking at this girl at the time like, dog, is you smoking or sniffing dust? Like, what are you talking about? It all sounded foreign to me back then. It took me to get way older, damn near 15 years older, for me to understand what she meant by that. Each name had different sides to me that I never even put together. So you see how people on the outside view you or see certain things that you might not even see about yourself. It was crazy when I finally put it together and saw what she was talking about. So that's when I really started to embrace my name as a whole and who I was. Then I ended up doing the homework on my names, which is why I was able to tell y'all the little bit that I did tell you guys about my names. So I don't care what your name is. I just wanted to share this story because, like I said, a lot of y'all just know me as B Todd. Y'all don't know nothing else. Y'all heard all the old stories, but y'all don't know about that name. So I wanted y'all to get a clear understanding of who I was and what I had to go through to get that name and why it meant so much to me to tell y'all this story. Because I struggled with it. And once I just want y'all to know that y'all need to, whatever your name is, and I've heard some crazy names throughout my life. I've made fun of them as well. Okay? I'm guilty of that because it was done to me. Hurt people, whatever. But whatever your name is, I don't care how much you don't like it, embrace it. Look it up. That's what I had to do once I got old enough to realize, oh, names actually have definitions behind them. Oh, sweet. Do that. Your name might end up meaning something significant and it might suit you, just like my name suit me. So never be ashamed of your name. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode because I couldn't wait to talk to y'all about this, especially since I got inspired. I didn't know what I was going to talk to y'all about this week before I finished that book that I was reading. So I got motivated off that book and just to tell y'all this story. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, man. And make sure you go to thepodskers.com and start voting again. Start voting some more, okay? I can't remember how long it's going. I don't know how long it's going to be before you guys can't vote, but keep voting until you can't no more. Keep voting for your boy Talks with Todd because I've been working hard, man. And like I said, I've already won being nominated, honestly. But to get that win is going to be different. And I have a lot of things to celebrate. I've had one hell of a year, okay? It's been crazy. So, and my anniversary coming up Monday, man. Like 4 years being married. So it's a lot that's been going on. So, and it's something to celebrate. It's something special really about to happen. I can just feel it. And I want y'all to understand how important it is to me. Like how much I love the support, how much y'all been being there, backing me up, watching my videos, getting in those comments. I appreciate all of it. I've never worked this hard before, never been this focused before in my life. So to be this focused and be here, y'all make it way easier to accept. So I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. Catch y'all next week. I'm out of here. Indeed.